thế đi và tục sở thông
That was awesome.
lại khlang cái thông thông giang thông giang tè giang
Materials from libraries. You know, libraries in the United States are getting rid of books. Very, very many libraries are getting rid of books. And so many of them come here. And some of these are donations from individuals. What could this be? Yeah, these are all many. There's a database that explains. And then Internet Archive also has a film collection. These are films that were donated to the Internet Archive. And it goes back 40 feet. So this is a collection from a library in Providence, Rhode Island. This is a collection from a retired producer in Massachusetts. It's huge. A lot of it is obsolete videotape formats. It's lower priority. A lot of it is corporate video that's it's not interesting corporate video, although some of it we have transferred to Film Park. Internet Archive owns about 6 of these containers of film in this building and more elsewhere. It's a massive collection. We're scanning a lot of Internet Archive material. Mostly we're scanning outtakes from feature films that were kept as stock footage. So they're footage of cities. So for example, there's wonderful footage of Japan after the war during the occupation period. There's footage of London during the Blitz, during World War II, outtakes for a film, much material of that sort. And we're also going to get our teeth into a collection of original elements from the US government that was declared surplus. Material that the National Archives got rid of and came here. And that's about, 300 boxes. There's just infinite resources. We could scan here, for 10 years, and we should have a night shift, but, we're not funded to do that.
Yeah.
They had asked, could you explain the relationship between what you're doing and Internet Archive?
Yes. So Internet Archive is a nonprofit, a public benefit organization. I'm one of the members of the board. They give us space here. We get space without paying rent. We're not the same organization, but we upload material to the Internet Archive and we contribute to their digital library. So it's a partnership or a collaboration, but there's no specific relation. There's nobody else at Internet Archive who works with film, really, and so I'm the default film curator for the Internet Archive, but it's unofficial. And we're just trying, our big commitment is to people out in the world who want material, who want access to archives. Because access to archives resources, copyright and other kinds of restrictions. And here we have this rare opportunity with a lot of
Like collect data
that we can digitize and we can put up. So we really want to make the most of it. And in terms of our own collection, our archives, basically we really aren't very interested in collecting material unless we can put it online. And then, after we put it online, we retain the film. But we really exist to make material accessible. Which is not to say that we haven't done preservation. We've collaborated with Library of Congress on a number of films, and we'd like to do more of it. We'd like to find partners through California Revealed to actually physically preserve some film. We have really important material of California in the 30s. For example, that's in 8mm and it's quite fragile, and that should be preserved probably even to 16 or 35. It's quite unusual material. But let's just walk down and This is all very photogenic.
Đấy.
Amazing.
There's pallets up there. There's work right now organizing and arranging, and some of this material is going to be scanned. Internet Archive has scanning centers, a bunch of places in North America and in the world. This material was just actually opened up a few weekends ago. It is a big collection of man-collected operating manuals for electronic, obsolete electronic equipment. And these are very important there, and they're in great demand. And there's something like, I don't know, 40 pallets of manuals. And people, volunteers went through it and pulled out all the radio-related material because there's money from a foundation to scan radio-related manuals. So those were all pulled out a few weeks ago. I think there were 6 or 8 volunteers here over the weekend.
There were like a dozen, I think.
Were they a
Yeah,
dozen?
yeah.
Okay. And you see wires. There's a system of temperature and humidity sensors here. They're not all working, like this one is not connected. But there's material up here we're going to scan too on the second floor. And we're trying to get Adrian and Megan certified for the forklift.
Oh, cool. Fun.
We have to take this course, and I think there's a test, isn't there?
Yeah.
So there's another building on Carlson Avenue in Richmond, which is even more shipping containers. It's hundreds of shipping containers.
So big.
What? Yeah. About a month ago, I went to upstate New York in the Adirondacks. And this was a collection that we were given from a filmmaker who did travel logs. He may have been to Cambodia. I haven't discovered yet. But this collection was in a very wet room filled with rust and filled with mold. And so I'm letting it kind of settle here. And we're starting to scan it. Inside, it's in good shape. This is a very interesting filmmaker. One of his films was just preserved through the National Film Preservation Foundation a year or two ago. But this will all come out. I'm hopeful that, you know, it's beautiful Kodachrome.
Wow.
He won an Academy Award for an innovation in camera calibrating. He invented a collimator, a lens collimator. So it's very beautifully shot.
What's his name?
His name was Kenneth Richter. He presented travel logs, and he traveled around the world. Again, one of these people who, you know, kind of a colonialist vision, I think, but very beautiful images.
What era was that?
What era? Yeah, they start in about 1951 and go up really through the 80s. Please go ahead. Oh, these are some of his family slides, which we actually will scan. And you know, some of this, just the rust, and I don't even want to, I should wear a mask if I'm going to open those up, because there was mold. It was really a horrible place. I could only save 1/3. And the rest of the material just couldn't, I mean, it would cost a lot of money to save it. So I flew back east to get that and then shipped it back.